What would you suggest? I know there's no clear answer, but just advice. What would you suggest the first 3 steps for a single mom who is starting over, who has only $200-300 in her pocket? What would you suggest she does? She does.
Well, the first thing that you do is try to find a school for your child, because at least you know that it's going to be quality care and you are going to have these hours during the day where you can work. Step one, if you have children, school age children, do that. If they are younger though, there are opportunities as well. If they are under 5, there are programs out there that can help children and single parents and to get to an early childhood education program that is licensed, where you can have the peace of mind to go to work, because that's extremely important. Sometimes also as parents, we trust our neighbor, or we trust the person who is going to watch my children 2 blocks from here, but they're not licensed. And it's extremely important because you need to realize that you're exposing your child. And I've seen, many cases where children have been abused just because these people are not licensed and they don't go through their certifications. And sometimes you're going to pay a little bit more, but it's worth, I'm telling you, it's worth it that you pay more, but you have because for us, it's extremely important to have the peace of mind to go to work. So step one, trying to find safe childcare or education for your child so you can go to work. Second, I would say that as my experiences, I think you have to just block time in your time to set up a schedule with your child of how they are going to, when are they going to have mommy time, or if it's a single dad, daddy time. And that's important, even if it's 2 hours a week, where you can just have one-on-one and good conversations with your child. It's extremely important because sometimes we get busy. Sometimes we're pushed, with society to do all of these things. And you forget about that. You're trying to pay your bills. And it's like, no, if you have 1 hour or 2 hours, and it could be early in the morning. If your child has to go to school at 8 in the morning, then they can get up an hour early, and you can sit down and with them and just have conversation, help them, but continue that conversation and that engagement with your child. At least 1 hour or 2 hours of where you have mommy and daddy child time. That's extremely important because you are everything that your child has. You are family, you are everything, So it's extremely important that they can talk to you, because with all of these cases of bullying in school, sometimes your children are not gonna break through, and they're gonna not talk to you unless they trust you and they can see that you are accessible, that you are willing to listen, and let them speak. Don't tell them what to do. Tell them what they are, how are they doing? Who do you speak? Who are your friends? Get to know the friends of your children too. That's extremely important. And I think that the step 3 is your child always needs to know where you are.
Oh.
So if you are at work, where your child needs to know where you work, because my daughter, as I speak with her now, she's like, yeah, you told me that you will go to work, but what would happen? They worry because you are everything you have. So it's like, but I didn't know where your office was. So take your child to your office so they know that they are safe. They know that you are reachable, that you are accessible, that they know your contact information by heart, so they can call you in the case of an emergency. And this is, in times where we didn't have cell phones, we have these flip phones, that were extremely expensive, that I couldn't afford. But that your children know where they live, that they can reach out to you, and an emergency contact too, in case you are not available. Who's the second? Because, right now you are driving, you can have connection. It could be an emergency. Teach them how to call 911 when it's necessary. If there's an emergency, if they cannot reach out to you, an emergency contact. And if it's extremely emergency, tell them what are emergencies, how can they protect their body. How come they have to deal with the strangers? And when it's an emergency, what they could call 911. I would say those will be my 3 steps for single parents, because as we are trying to make ends meet, we have to also, we're responsible for our children. And sometimes that can backfire on you. I mean, I was lucky that I left my child home and my neighbors had a good child, that my neighbors did not call on me to child protective services, but I could have lost my child.